Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. Now then, on today's video we're going to be looking at this. It's the SMRC FY011 S2 jetboat, another catchy name there. This has very kindly been donated to the channel for review by Banggood, so big thumbs up to them. Now, no boats aren't particularly popular, but do you know what, if it's something you've got to try, because they are genuinely a right laugh, and kids absolutely go mad for boats in general. Water and kids go together like tea and biscuits, I tell you, they love it. And jet boats are great if you've got kids, because obviously there's no rotating prop for them to hurt themselves on. It's all, the pump is all internal inside the RC, so they're great. But if you're thinking about it, go and get yourself a cheap boat and just try it. Honestly, they're a right laugh. Anyway, this thing is on Banggood at the moment for about 45 quid, which is approximately $50. We'll have a quick look at the box. It says here multi-terrain. I very much doubt that. I think it's water only. LED lights, got some LED lights on it. Self-righting, which is very, very important. And the motor is actually water cooled. I think it's a 390 brushed unit. Anyway, enough of the waffle. Oh, it says here multi-terrain driving, no fear of any obstacles apart from land. Anyway, let's crack this box open and get it open. Right, then in the box we've got our instructions. We've got a stand for the boat. Do not buy a boat that does not come with a stand, I tell you. These things are invaluable. We've got another little bag which looks like it's got a USB battery charging of some description. We've got our transmitter. Now this has got throttle dual rate, steering dual rate apparently, and steering trim. There's also a button for the lights and a reset button, and that reset button will be the self-righting to get it back the right way up. And last but not least, we've got the actual boat, and I should have made up the stand, shouldn't I? Now this thing looks mint. It actually looks like something Knight Rider would use. If kit was a boat, this would be it. We'll get into take the covers off in a minute, but as you can see, there's obviously no rudder. Just basically it's steered via the pump there. But I'll make up the stand and then we'll take the covers off and have a look inside. Right, now you can see why the stand is so important. Now this thing is double sealed at the top. There's two covers, two waterproof covers. This is the first one, which is held on by a little clip at the back. And to tell you what, it's flipping tight, which is a good thing. And then we've got a secondary one, and this hopefully will stop any ingress of water. Let's see if we can get it off. There we go. And now we get to have a quick look inside. There's our 390 brushed motor, and it's water cooled. Basically water is forced from the jet basically around this pipe work here and then back out the boat. We've got a 7.4 volt 2S battery in here with a Dean's connector. Let's see if we can get him out. Well, there we go. So it's just like your normal generic battery. 2000 milliamp hours it says. And we've got ESC, waterproof ESC and receiver there, and a little 3-wire steering servo at the back, and that's pretty much it. The jet pump is, you can't really see there, but it's basically all enclosed underneath. Water sucked in through the bottom and obviously forced out the back, and that propels it forward. We've also, nice touch, I don't know if you can see in there, we've also got like a little removable bung, so if we do get any water in there, we can take that little bung out and empty it out. I'm not sure that's a good idea. It's not a good sign normally to have a bung in there to let the water out, but you normally do on these jet boats. Normally do get a bit through the pump housing, I must admit. But anyway, let's charge the battery up, and I'll have a read of the manual. Right then, we're outside with the jet boat. You probably can't tell, but it's absolutely blowing a gale at the moment, and we've got the tail end of a storm here in the UK. So anyway, I've got a nice pond to try it on here, so let's go for it. Let's check the self-righting. Press the button. Hey, that works a treat, that does. Lights are flashing at me. I wonder if that's the controller batteries, I don't know. The main battery, that hasn't lasted long if it's low battery already. Let's try changing the battery. One thing I have noticed is while it's flashing to tell me that there is either low battery in the transmitter or the actual boat, you do get a reduced amount of power. But that's probably just to get you to the bank, so you don't have to wade out to get it. As soon as I've opened it up to change the battery, I just thought I'd check whether there's any water inside, and this thing is dry as a bone so far. Tell you what, it's got an impressive turn rate. I mean, that's amazing. It's not slow either, this thing, considering it's just brushed. Right then, absolutely typical this is. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. I've just clipped the bank going pretty much full pelt with this thing, and it's stopped dead. Now, what I think has happened is what happened on my other jet boat is that the motor's moved forward and basically jammed the prop against the inside of the pump, so it won't rotate because the throttle, when you pull the throttle, nothing happens basically. So I think it's game over for us here at the moment. I'm going to have to take this home and have a look. But the cooling actually works a treat on this, and you can actually see a little jet of water coming out the back when you're going along occasionally. So the cooling on this works a treat, but yeah, I think I've broke it. Right, they're back inside. And I've had a good look over this thing, and I think I've traced the problem to, it's definitely the motor. I don't know if that knock against the bank has caused one of the magnets to sort of drop off the case inside the motor, because this motor is locked solid. I can't turn it at all. I've had the pump out, I've had various other bits and pieces out. There doesn't seem to be any issues there, but this motor literally cannot turn it over. I haven't managed to get it out yet because I've misplaced the Allen key I need to get these two pins out here. But I think just clipping the bank, I think I've dislodged something in the motor anyway that's caused it to lock up. Anyway, let's have some good and bad points, shall we? Now, before this happened, I was actually struggling to think of things I didn't like about this boat. The only thing I think of is the original battery life wasn't great, but I did run it in the bath for a short period of time to make sure that everything worked before I took it out, so obviously that would have impacted on battery life. I'd like to blame the motor on the boat, but the fact that I clipped the bank and it stopped working straight after, well, you know, I'm culpable for that, unfortunately. Anyway, let's crack on with the good points, shall we? And this thing is fun and genuinely entertaining to use. Up until the point at which I had to stop, I was genuinely enjoying myself. Second good point is the price. This thing's on Banggood at the moment for 45 quid, which for what you get, I don't think it's a lot of money. I mean, you do get a reasonable product. I'm pretty sure the damage caused is my fault. I mean, looking back on the video, I think I did clip that bank a couple of times, so it was probably only a matter of time before I broke something. But I think for 45 quid, I think it's spot on. Also, I think for a brushed jet boat, this thing is quite nippy. It felt almost as quick as the orange brushless converted jet boat that I've got. So I was actually pleasantly surprised at this thing's turn of speed. Also, along with that speed, it is quite manoeuvrable. It does handle quite well, and from that department, I've got no complaints. Also, after we'd removed the covers and had a look inside, this thing remained pretty much bone dry. Weren't any discernible water leaks, which is more than could be said for that orange jet boat that I've got. Honestly, if I put a jet pump on a colander, there would be less leaks, but this thing pretty much remained leak-free. And this water cooling worked a treat. The motor remained fairly cool, and the best thing about it was you could actually see water being forced round and out the back, which was really cool, no pun intended. So conclusion time, would I recommend the FY011 jet boat to you guys? And I'm going to say the answer is absolutely yes. This thing's good fun. It's not horrendously priced. It's nice and quick, handles well, no leaks, So it gets a big thumbs up to me. Just don't hit anything with it. As ever, there's a big thumbs up to Banggood for supplying this RC for review. If you want one, I will leave a link in the description to where you can go and get one from. And if you found this video of some use and interest, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. It makes a massive, massive difference to the channel. Once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again very, very soon.